And are we living, again, I hear this stuff, I read this stuff, and I think people are operating in parallel universes. If you don't like Trump, that's your prerogative. But you actually have to make a coherent argument based on facts, okay? And most of you folks on the left are just embittered and angry and delusional at this point. Now, I ask about the Twilight Zone, whether we're living in it, because the same media outlets who fell for the ridiculously phony, obviously phony Steele dossier are now embracing the founders of the firm behind the Steele dossier, Fusion GPS. So Glenn Simpson and Peter Fritsch are promoting their new book, and NBC, of course, gave them a lot of questions like, well, how does it feel? What's your favorite color? Watch.
The Republicans controlled Washington for 2 years, all of Washington for 2 years, and they used that time to investigate the investigators and dig into us and waste enormous amounts of money trying to find something on us that would discredit us.
We were not able to talk about those things for a long time, and in the meantime, faced a lot of pressure from Republicans in Congress, specifically the chairman of the Judiciary Committee and the House Intelligence Committee, Devin Nunes.
I'm not sure what he mumbled at the end there, but here to respond, Devin Nunes, ranking member on the House Intel Committee, and Lee Smith, investigative journalist, author of The Plot Against the President. A fantastic book. Congressman, Fusion GPS actually ran a campaign against you in 2018. So what do you think of their whining and moaning? Oh, they were mean to us. They were so mean to us. And the kid glove treatment they were getting over at NBC.
Well, look, it's typical. Whatever they accuse you of doing, they're actually doing. So even the title of their book is hilarious, right? Because they're the ones that are continuing the crimes. And so I think part of what this book is about is not to sell a bunch of copies. It's to get out ahead of the lawsuits that are coming. So they knew that we were, through discovery, that we were going to discover that they were behind all the smears on me. And that's what's clear about the book, and that was going to come out in the court cases anyway.
Lee, what do Americans watching tonight have to understand about this duo in Fusion GPS? I mean, you documented this better than anyone about what was done, especially to Congressman Nunes, without whom President Trump might not be in the current good position he's in. But his work has been just unbelievable.
Absolutely.
But what do people have to understand? Is this just another consulting group, another research firm in D.C., or something quite different?
No, this is something quite different. And if you look at these different clips on NBC, when they're speaking with Chuck Todd and with Rachel Maddow, it looks rather more like a ransom.
We have that. We're going to get to that in a moment.
Yeah, well, we'll see. It looks like a hostage video because all of the media organizations, they weren't just tricked, they were complicit in what's going on. So if you look at their faces, they have to put their message through, and the media is going to take it, and they're going to work with them to shape this narrative now, with Horowitz and Durham Barr coming out as well. It's very important for them to get this message out and try to shape it.
All right, as Lee mentioned, it is very noteworthy that the Fusion GPS founders went to NBC first. Now, why was that important? Because the hosts would bend over backwards to basically give them, well, a kind of like an interview-style foot rub.
Their new book is called Crime in Progress. It's really good. I feel fairly steeped in this matter, and I learned something on every page. You guys have been through hell and high water.
What kind of toll has this taken on you guys personally? The book, it is a fascinating read. No matter what you think of the Steele dossier, if you talk about it, you should read this book.
So why NBC? Well, a few years ago, Lee wrote about a connection between a specific NBC reporter and Fusion GPS. Explain that briefly, and then we get back to the Congress.
Yeah, this is about Ken Delaney over at NBC, and when he was attacking William Browder as part of an operation on behalf of the Russian government, he appeared to be reciting talking points provided by Fusion GPS. So there are extensive connections between Fusion GPS and the entire media, and NBC is certainly a part of it.
Congressman Nunes, at this point, we know that the Nadler crew is going to get 2 weeks of their own, whatever they're going to end up doing with this impeachment nonsense. What do you expect to happen? He's already threatening. I'm going to say this to everyone who missed the last, few minutes of the show. He's threatening the President of the United States with unspecified penalties if he doesn't show up to testify. Well, this is where we've gotten. Okay.
I cannot imagine how a constitutional hearing next week about the constitutionality of impeachment, how that's going to be any better for them than the last 2 weeks when they had dud after dud after dud of witnesses. So Nadler, at least, evidently he's been found because the guy's been missing since, before the summertime, right? Nobody's seen him. They ripped him off the stage. So I can't imagine. My guess is they're going to have like one hearing next week, and then they'll vote the following week. I just can't imagine they're going to leave him up for multiple hearings and have another, where all the networks cover these guys. It'll drive their numbers even lower than they are today.
Well, again, I want to say that having you both on together is a treat because, Congressman, I remember when you were being smeared, when they were claiming you were conflicted out of the whole Russia thing. They were just lying about that for I don't know how long. That was when I was still doing my radio show. I used to have you on about that. And then it was the yacht. All this stuff just made up nonsense. Lee, you took it upon yourself to write about this and to explain it in a way, and it does. I mean, I'm sounding like I'm sucking up to you now, but it's so important for people to understand that it's not just what you read in the headlines. You have to dig into the facts of what they do to good people to try to rip them to shreds, and it's critical. Meanwhile, this Peter Frisch guy was speaking, I guess, on Meet the Press about the parallels between Russia and impeachment. I got to get you both quickly on this. Watch.
I was sitting here today at the end of 2019. Does anyone doubt that Donald Trump would be capable of inciting a foreign or working with a foreign government to affect the political process here in this country? It's exactly what the House is looking at right now.
Congressman Nunes, really quickly, thought.
Yeah, they're the ones that went to foreigners. They took money from the Democrats and went to Ukrainians and Russians to dig up dirt on Trump. I mean, these guys are a complete joke. They're a racketeering operation, and they need to be shut down. They're very dangerous for democracy.
I thank both of you for being with us tonight, Lee and Congressman Nunes. Thank you. And Congressman Nunes, I know you're going to get a tie back on after when you come back to work. He's always at the expo. That expo must be going on, World Ag Expo. Congressman, you're back on. You're always at this expo. What is that? I mean, every time I have you on, there's like trucks in the back.
It's by my house. It's by my house, and they've got nice, colorful background, and it's a museum, so they love having
me. I got it. It's not actually going on now. I'm a little slow before Thanksgiving. I appreciate it. But you have the Christmas theme colors behind you. All right, thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving. And